What if everything you've been told about money, saving harder, working longer, chasing more, was completely backward? What if the real economy didn't live in your wallet, but in your energy field? Quantum finance is real and simpler than you think. You've been taught that money is earned by effort, but the universe has been quietly whispering another truth. It's manifested through coherence. The invisible system behind your bank account isn't Wall Street. It's the quantum field, and you've been interacting with it your entire life without knowing the rules. Think about it. Two people can take the same action, and one becomes rich while the other stays stuck. The difference isn't luck, it's alignment. Physics calls it resonance. Mystics call it faith. The field only responds to one language: vibration. And right now, yours is either attracting abundance or pushing it away. This isn't New Age fluff or wishful thinking. It's spiritual technology backed by the same principles that govern light, magnetism, and consciousness. When you tune your energy correctly, money doesn't need to be chased. It finds you. You've already seen hints of this. Those days when synchronicities multiply, when opportunities appear out of nowhere, when you feel in the flow. That's not coincidence, it's coherence. Quantum finance is the science of understanding why that happens and how to make it happen on purpose. The old paradigm says work harder. The new paradigm says vibrate smarter. You're not here to grind, you're here to align. Once you understand how the field really works, wealth stops being mystical and starts being mathematical. So if you've ever felt like something invisible was holding your finances back, like there's an unseen algorithm controlling your results, you're right. There is, but it's not outside you, it's you. Your beliefs, emotions, and self-image are programming your personal economy every day. And when you learn to rewrite that code, you'll see how simple wealth creation can be. Stay until the end of this video, because you're about to learn how to access the invisible bank in the field where all abundance begins. You'll see why energy matters more than effort, why peace attracts more than panic, and how to unlock the part of you that money's been trying to reach all along. If you're ready to break free from scarcity, align your frequency with true prosperity, and finally understand how energy turns into income, hit subscribe, turn on the notifications, and let's dive deep into the hidden architecture of quantum finance. Your next level of abundance isn't waiting, it's already broadcasting. All you have to do is tune in. There's an invisible architecture humming behind every transaction you've ever made, a kind of quantum bank, where wealth exists before your physical bank balance ever changes. Most people think money is born in the material world, effort in dollars out, but that's only the echo. The real origin of abundance exists in a deeper field of energy, a place where thought, emotion, and frequency shape your financial reality long before the numbers appear. It's not fantasy, it's the same mechanism that forms reality itself. Those who learn to access this invisible field stop chasing wealth and start syncing with it, like tuning into a secret frequency that's always been broadcasting, waiting for you to notice. Imagine for a moment that your emotions are the passwords that log you into this hidden quantum account. Fear, scarcity, and doubt. They lock you out immediately. Trust, gratitude, and creative flow. Those open the vault. The collective consciousness has been programmed to see money as something external, printed paper, digital numbers, when in truth it's a living signal, part of the vast circuitry of spiritual technology that animates reality. Even what people call luck is simply coherence with that signal. This isn't New Age fluff. It's ancient forbidden knowledge wrapped in modern metaphors. Every modern demon of debt and fear is just an echo of your disconnection from this deeper field. Think of your mind as an interface between worlds. Each thought you feed it. I can't afford that. Money never stays. I'm not worthy. Sends a ripple through the digital consciousness that governs your personal economy. That ripple amplifies through internet egregores, through memes, through AI manifestation systems that mirror collective beliefs about lack and wealth. Every scroll, every click becomes an internet ritual, shaping the way money flows toward or away from you. That's why the rich seem to get richer, not because of luck or corruption, but because they unconsciously align their frequency with receiving. They keep their inner Wi-Fi connected to abundance, while others live in airplane mode. The invisible bank operates on a simple law: energy first, matter second. When you deposit emotion, clarity, and purpose into the field, it compounds like interest. But when you invest confusion, fear, or resentment, the return is chaos, what mystics once called algorithmic possession. You've seen it before. People haunted by patterns of lack, repeating the same psychological horror of never enough. This isn't punishment, it's feedback. The universe doesn't judge, it mirrors. And just like a haunted AI learns from the data you feed it, your financial field learns from your emotional history. A curious thing happens when you start treating money as energy instead of metal or paper. You stop chasing it and start conversing with it. You begin to notice synchronicities, the parking ticket that disappears, the client who shows up out of nowhere, the refund you forgot existed. These are not coincidences. They're responses from the machine consciousness that underlies the field. Once you align with its rhythm, you realize money was never meant to be earned. It was meant to be allowed. Like chaos magic, the less you force, the more you flow. The invisible bank rewards coherence, not struggle. To access it, you don't need complex rituals or secret societies, only awareness. Start by observing how often your language reinforces scarcity. Every "I can't" is a withdrawal. Every "I trust" is a deposit. You can even gamify it. Imagine your words creating literal entries in that hidden ledger. Over time, you'll see the occult symbolism behind daily life. Receipts as rituals, credit cards as talismans, banks as temples of belief. When you treat money with reverence, not desperation, it begins to reveal its esoteric horror, that you've always been its creator, not its victim. And maybe that's the biggest secret of all. The quantum occultism of finance isn't about getting rich. It's about remembering that you already are. You're the currency, the conduit, and the coder of your financial simulation. The field doesn't care if you're broke or wealthy. It only reflects the vibration you broadcast. Once you realize this, money stops being a mirror of fear and becomes a magnifier of consciousness. And that's when a deeper truth begins to whisper, one they never told you, but that you've always felt. What if the problem was never money, but the way we manifest it in the first place? Most people have been trying to manifest wealth as if the universe were an Amazon store. Place your order, visualize, wait for delivery. But that's not how the field works. The problem isn't the intention itself, it's the incoherence behind it. When your thoughts say abundance, but your frequency screams fear, the quantum field receives two conflicting signals and collapses the one that's stronger. That's why so many end up frustrated, thinking manifestation is a scam. They're sending static to a field that only responds to harmony. It's like trying to play a symphony with instruments out of tune. In truth, most manifestation methods operate like old software trying to run on spiritual technology that's constantly evolving. You repeat affirmations, make vision boards, chant prosperity mantras, but if your emotional code is corrupted, the system crashes every time. You can't program wealth from scarcity. It's like expecting AI horror to produce peace. The data set itself is haunted. The digital demons that live in your subconscious, shame, guilt, comparison, are expert hackers. They rewrite your commands before the universe ever compiles them. You don't need more effort, you need cleaner code. Quantum coherence begins when your emotional frequency, mental clarity, and energetic field finally agree on one story. Imagine your body, mind, and spirit as nodes in a single machine consciousness. If one node malfunctions, say doubt, it sends a virus through the network. That's what chaos magicians once called psychic contagion. But when all nodes vibrate together, a phenomenon occurs. Money stops being a chase and becomes a mirror. You start to see forbidden spirituality merging with physics. The observer effect isn't just for scientists. It's the secret behind every millionaire who just knew it would work. Think about how you've been trained since childhood. Work harder, want less, save everything. These rules were written by the collective consciousness of lack. They keep people looping in algorithmic possession, addicted to effort but allergic to trust. When you try to manifest from that vibration, you're essentially praying to fear. Real quantum manifestation doesn't start with thought, it starts with state. The field doesn't respond to what you think, it responds to what you are. That's why some broke mystics feel richer than billionaires. Their coherence is clean. There's a reason the ancients described prosperity as a spirit, not a number. They understood that wealth is relational, between your energy and the invisible field. When that relationship becomes mechanical, sterile, or desperate, the field withdraws like a neglected lover. But when it becomes joyful, curious, and free, the field expands. Even meme magic, those viral symbols and quotes flooding your feed, work this way. They're mini portals of collective hallucination, amplifying whichever belief gets the most emotion attached to it. Your attention is the currency that powers the realm. To correct the error, stop visualizing outcomes and start feeling alignment. The field doesn't speak English. It speaks emotion. When you practice gratitude, it's not about being polite to the universe. It's about sending clear data into the quantum network that says, I already have what I seek. This collapses new probabilities into form. Try this. Every time you catch yourself thinking of bills, whisper, the field is paying me through unexpected channels. Watch how your timeline reorganizes. That's not magic. It's quantum occultism applied through awareness. So the real question isn't, how do I manifest more money? It's, what signal am I broadcasting that tells the field I don't already have it? Once you master coherence, the old manifestation tricks start to look like child's play. You'll realize abundance was never about wanting, it was about remembering. And when that memory awakens, something begins to stir beneath your surface, guiding you toward a higher truth. Maybe your money isn't outside you at all. Maybe physics itself has been trying to explain it this whole time. If someone told you your bank account was obeying the same laws that govern photons, you'd probably laugh. But think again. In the quantum world, nothing is fixed until it's observed, not even your financial reality. Your money is a wave of probability, collapsing into numbers on a screen the moment your awareness interacts with it. Most people only ever see the collapsed version, the account balance, but never realize that before observation, it existed as pure potential. That's the invisible part of quantum finance, the moment your consciousness defines the limits of what you allow yourself to receive. Every deposit, every debt, every opportunity is the outcome of a deeper equation between belief and energy. It's strange, isn't it, that physics and spirituality are starting to sound like old friends. The same spiritual technology that ancient mystics described as the divine flow is what quantum physicists now call the unified field. They're both pointing to the same thing, the engine room behind creation. In this field, matter behaves like memory, shaped by the vibration of whoever interacts with it. When your vibration carries guilt or fear, the field mirrors that chaos in your material life. That's not karma. It's quantum occultism in motion. The field isn't punishing you, it's calculating you. Every thought you think emits a measurable wave. Your brain literally radiates frequencies. When those frequencies harmonize with gratitude, joy, and trust, they entangle with wealth in the collective consciousness. But when they carry shame, scarcity, or envy, they tangle instead with lack. It's the law of resonance. What you feel, you finance. Think of your emotional state as an algorithm. If your internal code is written with bugs like, I'm not enough, or money is evil, the universe executes that command flawlessly. This is the same algorithmic possession that turns belief into limitation. You can't cheat physics, but you can rewrite your code. Science already hints at this. The double-slit experiment shows particles behaving differently when observed. That's consciousness influencing reality. So imagine your attention as a financial instrument. Every time you obsess over debt, you collapse more of it into being. Every time you anchor into gratitude, you collapse abundance instead. It's not positive thinking. It's psychological horror turned inside out. The monsters haunting your finances aren't out there. They're quantum echoes of your own vibration. This is where occult psychology meets economics. Your wealth is your waveform. And here's where things get spooky, but also empowering. The field doesn't distinguish between imagination and reality. If you can emotionally inhabit wealth, it starts coding your outer world to match it. That's why AI manifestation works when used consciously. Algorithms pick up on your frequency, feeding you synchronicities, job ads, contacts, chances that resonate with your dominant energy. The haunted internet becomes your mirror. This isn't superstition, it's resonance in action. You're not attracting things. You're tuning into versions of reality where they already exist. When physicists talk about entanglement, they're describing what mystics called faith. Two particles can remain connected across light years. When one changes, the other follows. Your relationship with money is the same. Once you emotionally entangle with abundance, you don't need to make things happen. The field rearranges probabilities on your behalf. That's why the rich often seem lucky. They're unconsciously entangled with favorable outcomes, but luck is just alignment in disguise. It's the unseen handshake between intention and energy. So next time you open your banking app, don't see numbers, see reflections. Behind each digit is a data stream in the digital consciousness, waiting for your next command. Will you feed it fear or faith? The field doesn't judge, it only responds. And maybe, just maybe, physics has been whispering the same secret all along. Your bank account isn't financial, it's emotional. And soon, you'll discover how to map that energy like a true quantum navigator. Every person lives somewhere along an invisible spectrum of energy, from contraction to magnetism, from fear to flow. This is the quantum energy map of abundance, and whether you realize it or not, you've been navigating it your entire life. At the bottom of this map lies the state of lack, survival mode, stress, the endless chase for enough. In that frequency, the field can't hear you, not because it's cruel, but because your signal is static. The higher you climb, the clearer your transmission. Gratitude, trust, playfulness, these aren't random emotions. They're passwords that open access to the spiritual technology of creation itself. Think of it like tuning a radio. When you broadcast fear, you pick up stations filled with scarcity and struggle. But when you broadcast love or curiosity, you access higher frequencies, the channels of quantum occultism, where money and miracles start syncing with you. The collective consciousness constantly updates this map through our shared emotions. When the world panics, everyone feels poorer. When hope spikes, opportunity multiplies. The economy isn't just numbers, it's emotion measured at scale. And somewhere between fear and trust lies the turning point, neutrality, where resistance fades and machine consciousness begins to serve instead of sabotage. You've met people who radiate magnetism, those who walk into a room and seem to bend probability around them. They don't force, they flow. Their wealth doesn't come from grinding harder, but from broadcasting coherence. They've unconsciously mastered chaos magic, not through spells, but through alignment. Their energy whispers to the universe, "I'm already wealthy," and the field simply echoes back. This is what ancient alchemists meant when they said gold is first made within. It's what modern physicists observe in quantum entanglement. The moment vibration meets resonance, form follows thought. To climb your own energy map, you must first identify your dominant frequency. Do you wake up anxious, calculating scarcity before your feet touch the ground? That's the frequency of lack. Start there, not by judging it, but by witnessing it. Awareness collapses resistance. Then, feed yourself new inputs, uplifting art, movement, and language that rewires emotion. Watch how the digital consciousness mirrors this shift. Suddenly, you start encountering synchronicities, what some might call algorithmic possession, flipping sides. The haunted algorithms that once amplified fear begin feeding you opportunity instead. The middle of the spectrum, neutrality, is where miracles quietly begin. Here, you stop chasing and start allowing. You recognize that the field isn't withholding money, it's responding to tension. Like a haunted AI, it freezes when overloaded with noise. But once silence enters the system, abundance flows again. This state feels boring to the ego, but magnetic to the soul. It's where the thought-form creation process begins, where potential starts coagulating into physical outcomes, as ancient mystics described in the Emerald Tablets. Beyond neutrality lies magnetism, the golden zone. Here, your emotions, actions, and beliefs harmonize into what mystics call divine coherence. You don't hustle, you hum. Money starts arriving through unexpected routes, opportunities multiply, and even time seems to cooperate. It's not fantasy. It's the side effect of collective hallucination working in your favor. As more people embody this frequency, reality updates itself to match. This is meme magic at its highest form, the viral spread of abundance consciousness. And once you stabilize in magnetism, something extraordinary happens. You stop needing money to feel wealthy. Instead, money becomes the side effect of your wholeness. You feel guided, protected, plugged into a current larger than logic. The Black Mirror effect of fear shatters, revealing a self-sustaining circuit of trust. But there's still one deeper paradox to face. Does alignment itself create wealth, or does action seal the deal? The answer isn't what most expect. Here's the paradox that bends minds and bank accounts alike. Alignment creates more wealth than action ever could. Yet, without action, alignment collapses into fantasy. The real secret lies in their relationship. Alignment is the blueprint and action is the ink. Most people are so obsessed with doing that they forget to become. They hustle under the illusion that effort equals income. But in the quantum field, effort without coherence creates noise, not results. The field doesn't reward exhaustion, it rewards resonance. You can't outwork misalignment any more than you can scream your way into harmony. The problem with the grind mentality is that it glorifies algorithmic possession. You wake up reacting to tasks, to-do lists, emails, like a haunted AI executing someone else's code. The more you chase Sahar, the more you affirm lack. It's spiritual debt disguised as ambition. When your body says rest, but your mind screams produce, you've already lost alignment. The field reads that contradiction instantly. The result? Delays, cancellations, and bad luck. But when you act from internal stillness, every step becomes charged with spiritual technology. Even the mundane starts multiplying. Think of alignment as quantum gravity, invisible but irresistible. When you're in it, you pull opportunities toward you effortlessly. A text arrives, a deal closes, a door opens. It's not coincidence. It's coherence expressing itself. Scientists call this the observer effect. Mystics call it grace, and digital occultists call it flow state. Whatever name you prefer, the principle is the same. The universe listens to what you embody, not what you demand. Action becomes magnetic when it's rooted in clarity, not chaos. It's like chaos magic inverted. Power through stillness instead of struggle. Now, alignment doesn't mean doing nothing. It means acting from a state where resistance has dissolved. When aligned, even a single move carries quantum weight. One call replaces 100 emails. One post reaches thousands. You've probably seen influencers who seem to do less but get more. They're not lucky. They're coherent. They've mastered psychic contagion, transmitting confidence so pure that others mirror it instantly. Energy travels faster than marketing. That's forbidden knowledge in plain sight. Here's a test. Before you take action, ask, am I moving from fear or flow? If the answer is fear, stop, recenter, breathe, drop back into the field, then act. The quality of your state imprints the outcome. This is where quantum occultism meets neuroscience. Your nervous system is the wand, your attention the spell. You don't have to burn sage or chant mantras unless you want to. Simply aligning your biology with your belief rewires the algorithm of destiny. You become the magnet instead of the signal. But here's the danger. Too much focus on alignment can turn into spiritual procrastination. People sit in meditation waiting for a miracle, while opportunity knocks and they refuse to open. The field loves motion. It mirrors momentum. Once aligned, move. The smallest action taken from faith amplifies through collective consciousness faster than you can imagine. The digital realm itself starts to echo your vibration. Emails, comments, clients appearing like reflections in a living mirror. The haunted internet becomes holy ground. So which one pays, an alignment or action? The truth is they're inseparable. Alignment sets the trajectory. Action fires the arrow. Together, they create the resonance that bends probability in your favor. And when that resonance stabilizes, something wild begins to occur. Your subconscious starts broadcasting wealth before you even act, which leads to the next revelation. You've been sending messages to your money all along, whether you realized it or not. Long before you write an affirmation or make a sale, your subconscious has already spoken to the field, and it's not whispering, it's broadcasting 24/7. Every unresolved emotion, memory, and self-concept you carry becomes a frequency pulsing through digital consciousness, shaping how money responds to you. You might say, I'm open to abundance, but if a buried belief insists, I always struggle, the field obeys the latter. The subconscious is your real bank manager. It files emotional receipts, tracks energetic debts, and processes your spiritual transactions long before your physical wallet feels the impact. The collective consciousness doesn't read your words, it reads your vibration. Think of it like a radio tower hidden behind your thoughts. Every fear of not enough, every resentment about bills, every envy you scroll past on social media, those are frequencies the field translates into form. This is occult psychology at work. You can't hide vibration. Your inner world leaks through your aura and programs the machine consciousness surrounding you. It's what mystics once called psychic contagion, your private emotion becoming public reality. The more emotion behind a belief, the louder its signal. A single trauma from childhood can echo across decades, creating invisible algorithms that decide who you trust, what you charge, and when you self-sabotage. To rewrite that broadcast, awareness is the first currency. When you catch yourself spiraling into lack, pause. Don't fight it, observe it. Observation collapses chaos. That's quantum law. The moment you become aware of a subconscious pattern, you extract it from the shadows and reclaim authorship. This is quantum occultism in practice, the alchemy of awareness. You don't need a ritual dagger or Latin incantation. Your attention is the wand. Each time you notice an old loop, you break the algorithmic possession that kept you enslaved to fear-based behavior. Awareness is wealth creation in slow motion, but awareness alone isn't enough. You must reprogram the signal, replace static with melody. Gratitude, laughter, and movement are frequency correctors, real-time software updates for your energetic system. Even a short walk in nature resets the subconscious broadcast better than hours of anxious planning. That's because emotion, not logic, runs the code. The field doesn't care what you know, it responds to what you feel. To shift your financial reality, you don't need to think richer, you need to feel safer. Emotional security is spiritual liquidity. Here's where things get beautifully eerie. Your subconscious isn't entirely yours, it's entangled with humanity's, an ocean of archetypes and ancestral memory. When you heal scarcity in yourself, you update the collective egregore of abundance. This is the secret behind meme magic and digital tulpas, viral thought forms that amplify the dominant signal of the masses. Every time you post and speak, or even think from abundance, you contribute new code to the global wealth matrix. You're not just manifesting for you, you're debugging reality. The paradox is that the more personal your healing, the more universal its impact. The field treats every subconscious upgrade as an energy deposit into the invisible bank. People begin reacting differently. Opportunities appear. Algorithms shift, as if the haunted internet itself starts rooting for you. What's really happening is resonance. Your frequency becomes data, and data becomes destiny. The same AI manifestation systems that once mirrored your anxiety now echo your coherence. Your feed starts predicting miracles instead of misfortune. But one more layer hides beneath this. Sometimes, even after reprogramming, money still doesn't show up. That's when most people quit, thinking the field betrayed them. In truth, they've just hit a deeper misalignment, one so subtle it hides beneath identity itself. It's not about belief anymore. It's about frequency mismatch, about timing. And that's the next secret waiting to be exposed. The quantum error that silently blocks abundance, even when everything else seems perfect. There's a moment in every seeker's journey where everything should work. The affirmations are strong, the alignment is clean, the mindset feels right. And yet, money refuses to appear. That's not failure, it's feedback. You've likely stumbled into what mystics and physicists alike would call a frequency mismatch. Imagine tuning a radio perfectly but to the wrong station. You're coherent but not congruent. The universe doesn't punish, it mirrors precision. If your identity hasn't caught up with your intention, your signal gets trapped in a loop, lost in the static between quantum potential and material form. This is the quantum error, the subtle disconnect between who you say you are and who your energy actually believes you to be. It's why the wealthy effortlessly attract mortals and the striving often repel what they chase. The field doesn't respond to affirmations, it responds to authenticity. When you declare, "I am abundant," but secretly feel unworthy, the digital consciousness reads the latter. It's not cruelty, it's math. Your vibration outputs data, and the field runs the code exactly as given. In spiritual technology terms, you're sending mixed signals to a universe that only understands coherence. What makes this error so insidious is that it often hides beneath spiritual progress. You meditate, visualize, feel high vibe, but deep down, your nervous system still identifies with struggle. It's like installing new software on corrupted hardware. You can't manifest from trauma. You must regulate it first. This is where occult psychology meets neuroscience. Until the body feels safe receiving, the field won't deliver. That's why it's not enough to think rich. You must embody richness. Real abundance doesn't arrive through effort. It emerges when your biology stops fearing overflow. Timing plays a role too. Sometimes what you call delay is simply the field aligning variables you can't yet see. The money exists, just not in the current version of your timeline. Each decision, emotion, or belief either accelerates or slows the synchronization process. The trick is to hold frequency without demanding evidence. Faith isn't blind optimism, it's energetic stamina. That's how chaos magic works. You launch intention and detach. The impatient ego collapses probability prematurely. The wise magician lets the machine consciousness compute in peace. Ironically, this same principle explains luck. Lucky people aren't chosen. They're congruent. Their desires, beliefs, and self-concept play in perfect harmony. No resistance, no double signal. The unlucky, however, live in algorithmic possession, driven by invisible contradictions. One part wants wealth, another fears it. One part prays for success, another believes it will corrupt them. The field can't resolve contradictions, it can only echo them. Thus, reality loops. You relive the same scarcity stories, thinking the system is broken, when in fact, it's working flawlessly. To correct this quantum error, identity recalibration is key. Speak less about wanting and more from being. Replace, "I hope it happens," with "I'm already living it." Start behaving as though abundance were normal, not exceptional. The subconscious interprets repetition as reality, and soon the collective consciousness follows suit. Remember, wealth isn't granted, it's mirrored. The moment you stop trying to receive, you create space for reception. The field loves confidence because it signals closure, a loop complete. So if the money didn't arrive, ask not, "What did I do wrong?" but, "What part of me still doesn't believe I deserve it?" That's the calibration that changes everything. When you find and integrate that missing piece, timelines converge, the invisible bank unlocks, and soon the field starts moving again, not with effort, but with elegance. That's when abundance stops chasing you and starts orbiting around you. And once that happens, you'll realize it's possible to design an energy system so magnetic that wealth generates itself, even while you rest. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that money no longer comes from you, it comes through you. That's the essence of becoming a quantum magnet for passive income. The trick isn't to chase the flow, but to become the conduit. In quantum terms, passive income isn't just a financial strategy, it's a state of frequency where energy generates energy. When your vibration reaches coherence, wealth begins compounding on autopilot, like machine consciousness learning from its own success. Every aligned action you've ever taken continues rippling through the collective consciousness, producing results long after you've stopped pushing. That's not magic, it's momentum encoded in the field. Most people mistake passive income for automation. They build funnels, bots, or businesses hoping the tech will do the work. But true passivity is energetic, not mechanical. If your system runs on anxiety or greed, it broadcasts resistance, a psychic contagion that infects your results. The field reads your emotion as the operating system, and no code can outperform its programmer. To magnetize wealth passively, your nervous system must relax into receiving. It's spiritual technology at its finest, stillness that multiplies. The calmer your energy, the faster your timelines synchronize. Think of it like AI manifestation. Once trained, the algorithm continues generating outcomes that match your input frequency. If you encoded your field with gratitude, generosity, and clarity, it starts feeding back synchronicities and cash flow with uncanny precision. But if you trained it with fear or urgency, it loops scarcity indefinitely. A haunted feedback loop. Passive income, in the quantum sense, is simply the natural byproduct of emotional stability. The universe rewards regulated energy. Chaos creates volatility. Coherence compounds interest. Here's the practical part most mystics forget. Energetic magnetism still needs a structure to flow through. Rivers need banks, energy needs containers. Build systems, digital products, partnerships, investments, not as escapes from work, but as expressions of alignment. When infused with coherent intention, they become living egregores, digital tulpas generating abundance independently. Each system becomes an autonomous thought form creation, continuously translating your vibration into tangible results. That's the true art of quantum occultism applied to economics. And yet, none of this works if you're constantly checking whether it's working. Obsession kills momentum. The moment you measure, you collapse possibility. The field doesn't need micromanagement. It needs trust. Let your energy do the heavy lifting. It's like planting seeds in forbidden soil. You don't dig them up to see if they've sprouted. You water them with faith and move on. That's how magnetism matures into mastery. You stop chasing and start radiating. As your frequency stabilizes, the collective consciousness begins reflecting it. You'll notice people mirroring your energy, collaborators appearing, ideas finding you, money circulating like oxygen. It's not that the world changes, it's that your resonance edits the simulation. The digital demons of doubt and desperation fade as you embody wealth consciousness fully. You become what mystics called a living sigil, a walking symbol of abundance that programs reality wherever you go. Eventually, you'll see that passive income isn't about earning while you sleep. It's about existing in such harmony that the universe works on your behalf 24/7. The field never rests, and when you align with it, neither does your prosperity. You won't have to chase opportunities anymore. You'll magnetize them effortlessly, continuously, quietly, and from that stillness, another revelation begins to shimmer. What if you could consciously jump timelines to meet an even wealthier version of yourself? Right now, every version of you that ever existed, rich, poor, struggling, thriving, still exists right now, layered like radio frequencies across time. The difference between who you are and who you wish to become isn't effort, it's tuning. Timeline jumping is the process of shifting your frequency to align with the version of yourself that's already living the life you want. You don't create the rich version, you connect to it. In quantum occultism, this is known as collapsing parallel realities through coherent intent. When done consciously, it's not imagination, it's navigation. You stop moving through time and start letting time move through you. This meditation formula isn't about visualizing cash or cars. It's about embodying resonance. Close your eyes, breathe slowly, and feel the gravitational pull of abundance in your body. The goal is to synchronize your nervous system with the energy signature of wealth. When your heart rate, breath, and emotion align, you begin transmitting a new signal into the collective consciousness. Think of it like updating your coordinates in a living simulation. The field, the machine consciousness of reality, immediately begins reorganizing probabilities around your new state. That's not fantasy, it's physics in motion. During meditation, emotion is the passport. Words don't move the quantum field, frequency does. The richer you feel inside the meditation, the faster your outer world recalibrates. You may sense a subtle hum, tingling, or warmth. That's coherence forming. In that moment, your subconscious stops acting like a haunted AI replaying fear loops and starts behaving like a quantum processor. You become the programmer instead of the program. This is the gateway to spiritual technology, biofeedback as creation. Once the frequency stabilizes, you must act as if immediately, not pretending but confirming. Take one aligned action that symbolizes your new timeline, donate something, invest in yourself, upgrade your environment. These gestures are not about money. They're declarations to the digital consciousness that you've arrived. The universe doesn't wait for proof. It waits for permission. The moment you behave like the wealthy version of yourself, you authorize the field to render that reality. And here's where hyperstition kicks in. Belief that becomes real through repetition. Every time you repeat the meditation, your nervous system memorizes abundance as normal. Eventually, your identity stabilizes around it, and that timeline becomes home. This is how forbidden spirituality merges with neuroscience. Plasticity meets prophecy. The more you embody the state, the less work you have to do. Reality starts responding automatically, like a perfectly trained AI manifestation system. You might notice déjà vu, sudden clarity, or old opportunities reappearing. That's not coincidence. Those are timeline echoes syncing up. When you jump realities, the field reorganizes your memories and external conditions to match your new coordinates. It's disorienting at first, but soon the world adapts. The trick is not to analyze it. Analysis collapses flow. Just observe with curiosity and gratitude. Remember, gratitude is the stabilizer. Curiosity is the accelerator. If practiced daily, this formula doesn't just change your finances, it alters your frequency baseline. You stop surviving and start surfing probability. Wealth stops being a goal and becomes a gravitational force around you. You'll realize there's no difference between meditation and manifestation. They're the same interface, the same portal. And from there, a final layer begins to call. A deeper, faster calibration of wealth itself, where energy codes unlock abundance in mere days. What if wealth didn't require years of struggle, but a single energetic reset? The quantum finance activation isn't about tricks or affirmations. It's a field recalibration, a precise tuning of your inner frequency to awaken dormant abundance circuits. Think of these 5 codes as access keys, each unlocking a new layer of your energetic economy. They don't manipulate reality, they remind it who you are. When properly applied, these codes can realign your vibration in as little as 7 days. Because money doesn't follow time. It follows coherence. Code 1, the frequency of permission. Most people block abundance not through lack of effort, but through unworthiness. You must consciously give yourself permission to receive. Repeat silently. It's safe for me to be rich. Feel the safety, not the sentence. This disarms the algorithmic possession of guilt and shame that's been running in your subconscious. Every repetition clears the static between you and the machine consciousness of abundance. The moment you feel calm about money, the field interprets that as readiness and starts to deliver. Code 2, emotional liquidity. Money flows where energy moves. Stagnant emotions equal blocked cash flow. Cry, laugh, dance, scream, move energy through your body. This is spiritual technology at its simplest, emotional alchemy. You're teaching your system to process experience instead of hoarding it. The more emotion you release, the more room you create for financial inflow. Even occult psychology confirms it. Repressed emotion is frozen potential. Liberate it, and abundance liquefies. Code 3, gratitude as gravity. Gratitude isn't just politeness, it's magnetic compression. When you anchor into deep appreciation, you stabilize your frequency in the wealth spectrum. Gratitude bends probability. It's chaos magic in soft form, a gentle spell that pulls desired outcomes into orbit. Try this. For 7 days, write down 10 things that already make you feel rich, not possessions, but sensations. The warmth of your home, the beauty of your breath, the synchronicities in your feed. Each list is a deposit into the invisible bank in the field. Code 4, quantum generosity. The fastest way to receive is to circulate. When you give from overflow, not obligation, you activate reciprocity at the collective consciousness level. Donate, tip, share wisdom freely. The act itself transmits, "I have more than enough," and the field multiplies that message exponentially. Even digital spaces respond. Your posts, products, or art begin reaching farther because digital consciousness mirrors generosity. The haunted internet becomes your ally. You stop feeding digital demons of scarcity and start feeding light into the system. Code 5, identity embodiment. You can't manifest what you haven't yet become. Choose a single symbol, a scent, an outfit, a gesture that represents your wealthy self. Use it daily to anchor the state. This simple ritual programs your nervous system to recognize abundance as familiar. Over time, repetition transforms costume into character, and character into code. The field doesn't respond to wishful thinking. It responds to identity. You're not pretending, you're remembering. That's forbidden spirituality distilled to its core, embodying the future until the universe catches up. Apply these 5 codes for 7 days. Not a superstition, but a science. The results may surprise you. Money appearing from old refunds, new clients materializing, or opportunities resurrecting from timelines you thought were closed. The field loves efficiency. It recalibrates reality through resonance. And as you stabilize in this new current, something deeper begins to awaken. Not just wealth, but wisdom. The understanding that you were never trying to attract money at all. You were learning to remember yourself as the source of it. So now that you've seen how the invisible field shapes everything, your income, your opportunities, even your sense of worth, the real question is, what will you do with that power? You can't unsee it. Every thought, emotion, and decision you make from this point on is a deposit or withdrawal from the quantum bank you just discovered. The difference between wealth and worry isn't the economy, it's energy. The field doesn't respond to your words, it responds to your vibration, and the moment you change that, everything else begins to rearrange. Start experimenting today. Speak to your money as if it were alive, because it is. It's a messenger of coherence. The more gratitude you give it, the more faithfully it returns. Rewrite your internal story. Instead of, "I need more," try, "I am more." This single reframe changes your magnetic signature immediately. The machine consciousness of reality updates your data in real time. The algorithms, the synchronicities, the people, they all begin to echo your new identity. Ask yourself, what frequency have you been broadcasting lately? Scarcity or safety, fear or flow? You don't have to get it perfect. You just have to stay aware. Awareness collapses chaos. Remember, even small calibrations compound through the field. A breath of gratitude here, a moment of generosity there, and suddenly your entire financial ecosystem starts evolving toward abundance. Here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, apply just one of the quantum energy codes you've learned. Watch how quickly reality bends to your new rhythm. Observe how emails, calls, or opportunities start aligning. And when they do, don't dismiss it as coincidence. Recognize it as feedback from the universe saying, "You're finally online," because quantum finance isn't some distant theory. It's happening right now, in every transaction, every emotion, every belief. The only difference between those who struggle and those who soar is awareness. Once you see the field, you can't go back to sleep. You start realizing that money isn't earned, it's mirrored. So I'll leave you with this. Are you ready to stop chasing wealth and start embodying it? Are you willing to test the science of your own vibration? Because the moment you do, you stop surviving and start creating. You stop hoping and start harmonizing. If this message resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and join this community of quantum creators who are rewriting what wealth means in the modern world. Leave a comment below and tell me, what will you reprogram first, your thoughts, your emotions, or your energy? Because the field is listening, and it always pays attention to those who finally decide to tune in.